Please subscribe to my channel to help me grow. The front door slammed so hard it rattled the frames on the walls. I bolted upright in bed, heart hammering. 8 in the morning. My wife, Mia, was stumbling through the threshold, heels clattering across the wooden floor, her breath a cocktail of alcohol and perfume I didn't recognize. Where have you been?" I asked, voice taut with disbelief, as I swung my legs over the bed. Her laughter was brittle, nervous. "Just celebrating with work friends," she slurred. Her words tipped sideways, too light, too careless. My stomach knotted. Celebration. At 8 in the morning? I followed her to the kitchen, the smell of cheap liquor cutting through the lingering aroma of burnt toast. Her phone buzzed constantly in her purse, notifications flashing on the screen in a way that made my chest tighten. She shrugged it off, tossing her purse onto the counter. "Who keeps messaging you this early?" I asked, trying to keep my tone neutral, but the suspicion was already coiling around my ribs. It's nothing," she muttered, avoiding my eyes. She opened the fridge, rummaging for water. My mind raced. She'd been distant these past few weeks. Texts deleted before I could see them. Phone calls, she said, were just work. Late nights that had suddenly started making sense. I sat down at the kitchen table, trying to steady myself, trying to reason. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe this really was just a harmless celebration. But then I saw it. Her lipstick smudged on the collar of her blouse. My stomach dropped. "Whose shirt is that?" My voice was barely a whisper. She froze, hand on the fridge handle, eyes darting. Then, a laugh, nervous, thin. "What are you talking about?" "It's just a coworker." But the answer felt like acid in my veins. A coworker. The word sounded empty, rehearsed. I could feel betrayal curling around my heart like smoke, suffocating in its inevitability. I wanted to scream, to shake her, demand the truth. But instead, I swallowed, my throat tight, my hands trembling on the wood of the table. "Why lie to me, Mia?" My voice cracked. I could barely form the words. "Why hide this?" She avoided me, drained the glass of water, then leaned against the counter. Her eyes were glossy, guilty, almost pleading. I didn't mean for it to go this far." "Go this far?" The words escaped like shards of glass. "You were out all night, drunk at dawn, hiding. What, exactly?" Her silence was a confession. I wanted to hate her, wanted to throw the plates, wanted to tear the world apart in my grief and fury. Instead, I felt a numb, icy betrayal that made my hands shake violently. I realized then that I had been living beside a stranger. Someone who smiled at me, who kissed me, but whose heart had wandered somewhere else entirely. She tried to reach for me. "Please. I made a mistake. I stood abruptly, my chair scraping the floor. The room felt smaller, suffocating. "No, Mia. This isn't a mistake. This is choice. And choices have consequences." Her tears started to fall, but they did nothing to mend the gaping wound in my chest. I realized then that love wasn't enough to cover this kind of betrayal. Not this time. I walked past her, grabbing my coat. The city outside gleamed with sunlight that had no warmth for me. Each step away from the apartment was a step away from everything I thought I knew, everything I had trusted. And as I closed the door behind me, I heard her whisper my name, but it felt like a ghost. Empty. I didn't look back. The betrayal wasn't loud. It wasn't explosive. It was quiet, creeping, impossible to ignore once it revealed itself. And in that moment, I knew life would never feel whole again, not with her.